Hello and welcome back to another Couch Surfers podcast. I'm Reaper, this is Icarus.
Hello.
As you probably know. If you have not seen the video that we posted up on Monday over on my channel, please go check that out. Link down below. Yeah.
You should roll back a few steps.
Oh, I want to be the center of attention. I know it's your channel.
Shocked.
I know it's your channel, but I want... I want to be here.
Now I don't feel so short.
Oh, it's fair. Alright. So yes, on Mondays on my channel we post a video, gameplay, playthrough, whatever you like to call it, on my channel, and it is now Wednesday, where we normally post a video like this. Well,
But we kind of forgot last week.
Yeah, we're sorry. Portal was an okay game. It's not bad. I liked it. It was just a bit frustrating.
I'd recommend it if the person you're playing with isn't a complete moron.
Yeah, I would too. It was difficult to play with him.
Anyway.
But yeah, thank you very much to everybody that watched us Monday night while we played Super Mega Baseball 3. What? You looked at me so confused and concerned.
I just normally look confused and concerned.
Usually at me.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So yeah, we do play on Monday nights over on my Twitch channel, but we might occasionally go over to yours.
Yeah.
Do something. Sort it out.
I'm trying to stream more. Well,
yeah.
Again, I should say not more. But anyway, doesn't matter for that.
Yeah. So, as I said before, we were playing Super Mega Baseball 3. It is developed and published by Metalhead Software Incorporated.
Which I believe all they've done is do Super Mega Baseball.
Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah. So, that's their thing. And they do a really good job.
They have done a very, very good job.
Anyway,
dedicating all their time to it.
Let's not go too much into that yet.
Okay. It was released 14th of May 2020, and I believe it's for only 2 players, 1 or 2 players.
No, you can do 4.
You can do 4? Okay, cool.
So you can do 2 versus 2.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go. So it's, yeah, up to 4 players.
Looks like, pretty sure it is. Yeah, 2v2.
2v2? Alright, cool. And I believe it is PC only?
Yes.
PC only. So, yeah, I guess we'll get straight into the discussion of...
Released 14th of May this year. Is a relatively new game.
I did say that it was...
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I didn't say that, I said it first.
Whatever. Anyway, let's talk about the bloody game.
Yeah. So what did you think of gameplay?
Gameplay? I actually... Like, I'm actually a big fan of sports games. But not the... Like, when it comes to, like, racing games, I don't usually like racing games. I especially hate games that are either too simulatory. Like, I don't mind Gran Turismo, that's more of a nostalgia thing.
Gran Turismo 2, oh my god, but we're not talking about that. We can record a video on that another time. But
like games like F1, they aren't really my bag. But games like Super Mario Kart, which go the complete opposite direction, aren't really my bag either. I like where they sort of sit halfway between simulatory and arcadey kind of games.
Oh, yeah, so you like the semi-realistic, but not
over the top.
Over the top, yeah.
Where something like Super Mario Kart goes a bit too far for me, and it sort of, and Super Mario Kart, because it's super arcadey, brings in things like rubber banding, which I can't fucking stand, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a game like Split Second Velocity, which is super arcadey, but it's also like the driving controls are really nice and stuff. I love that game. I don't know if you've played that.
I've never even heard of that game.
Okay, that's actually one of my favorite Xbox 360 games.
All right, we'll have to
play that.
Yeah.
Why am I saying all this bullshit? You know, games like Tiger Woods 2002, I think I played the shit out of that game on PS2 because
I think I actually played the shit out of that one too.
Yeah, it was realistic enough. Like you do swings, you can do weird swings, and you can cut the ball off. But then they had this thing where you could, I think it was called aftertouch, where you'd like put spin on the ball after the fact. It's like, oh, it's going over there, so I'll put that spin on it, and it just goes in. Like, it's kind of dumb, but I kind of like it. This game fits right in there. It has real world traits, and it's somewhat simulatory. But the simulatory parts, is that a word?
It is now.
It is now. Simulator is a word now. Parts are things like player stats, where you can rattle a player because, you know, the pitcher has had 6 home runs hit against him in a row. So now his stats are down because he feels like shit. That's awesome. You can have a season-long one, not that we played that, where the person gets constantly worn down the more you play him. You can have injuries and stuff like that. And then they're less effective. That's really cool. You can do a line drive and destroy the pitcher's face, and he will fall down like a sack of shit and be injured and be rattled and have his mojo just completely destroyed. And it's really funny to watch.
It really is. And then, if I remember correctly, out for the rest of the game, like the whole match.
No, they're just fucked. Like, they're injured, and you could leave them in, but they're fucking useless.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. And the pitcher, where the stamina wears down, so the stats get worse. And the better you do, the better you get. It's very real life. Like, when you're on a roll, you feel it. You feel confident. You've got that ego boost, and that's what it is. It's really good. But, you know, you see the ball coming in on the screen, and it's, you know, they give you a strike zone and then it flashes away and it shows you where the ball's going. You just sort of follow it and you hit a button and you plonk it into the air. It's just arcadey enough for it to be fun, and it's just enough simulator for it to be somewhat realistic. For me, it really hits that balance, and I fucking love that. That is why I brought all that up. I spoke about like 5 minutes of games that haven't even to do with this one. But hopefully that the passion that I have for sports games, even though I hate sports in general, like I don't hate them, but I don't really care about them. But some sports games, if they're done well, they're really, really good. And this is one of them that I think is really, really good.
Okay.
What do you think?
Let's just move on to graphics. You pretty much said everything I've talked about. Wanted to talk about. But no, it is. It's really good. The gameplay is amazing. Again, I'm just going to reiterate what Icarus said. It's got that arcadey style, but this realistic simulator mixed in with it, and it creates this diverse game that I don't think's really been done the way this has been done.
No, a lot of baseball games like MLB and stuff like that, they're either like they're a little bit too arcadey, especially baseball. I think baseball is kind of hard to get that little mix. I think because it is, you know, relatively simple. You have pitching and you have batting and you have fielding. I know that sounds pretty simple in theory, but of course it's not. But in terms of having a video game, it's actually pretty simple.
Yeah.
And I think they've done just enough to make it like a simulation, so it's not too arcadey. So, you know, adding stupid shit like rocket throws or using a bat made out of a shark.
If they added that, this game would be trash.
Yeah, it would be.
But they've just, as I said, there's that diversity within the game that allows it to be both over the top, but not at the same time. There is that perfect median of
it's grounded in reality and filled with real world problems. You wouldn't get the reference.
No, but I'm just going to agree because it does sound very
The other thing I actually quite like about this game that I've just got up on the screen from the Steam page is they have player traits. So the things like, you know, one player can be really good at if they're 2 strikes down, they have better stats because it's like, he's a tough out, he's not going to go out. Or one player is, if there's someone on base, is actually a bad batter because he gets nervous or something like that. Or a pitcher is really good against a left-handed batsman, stuff like that. So it's just adds a little bit of realism because those are things that people have. Like when I used to play cricket, I'm really good at hitting something that's a little bit too far outside. But if you put it at my feet, I'm shit. That is a real world thing. And they have that in this game. So, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway.
I think that's all I've got to say about the gameplay. Like, there's not much more to say other than what you said. So, yeah. I guess next thing, graphics. What did you think of the graphics?
The whole, like, clay figurine graphics they have going. I mean, they are what they are because you can make your own players and sort of tinker them to make them look like whoever you want. That's hard to do. I don't really care. Like, usually when I play a game like on this, I go, I didn't even notice the sound and the graphics. Oh, I have 1,000 things to say about the graphics. This game's actually the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So, like, the graphics are good. Like, that each player, you can actually make out who they are from what they look like. We talked a little bit about Northern Lion and Melf's season mode that they had on their YouTube channels. And if you actually watch that, they made a custom team of them and all their friends. You can actually see them. They actually look very much like their real life counterparts.
See, I didn't pay attention to that because I didn't realize.
Yeah, and you probably don't know the people as well as me because I've been watching them for a while.
Yeah.
And you can actually make people look pretty much like someone. I think that's really cool. But that said, like, if I was to make a game that had non-dynamic characters, like people who you couldn't change their facial features and stuff, I probably wouldn't make it look like that. But I think it works fine enough. And
Okay.
the stadiums and everything looks very pretty. I love when you smash the bat, when you get angry and the bat explodes into a million pieces. I think that's awesome and that looks really cool. I think they do enough with the graphics for it to not be an issue. They could probably do more, but I think it would actually lose a bit of its charm.
Yeah. I definitely like the cartoony clay, I guess claymation sort of look to it.
Yeah.
I love the exaggerated features and
like a lot of characters have really big asses.
Yeah, or huge over the top grins that would terrify you in your nightmares. But yeah, and it's just there is that charm about it. As you said, the stadiums look realistic.
Yeah, I think the stadiums themselves look absolutely fantastic. Like, you wouldn't be astray if this was a proper simulator baseball game. They dropped those stadiums and I don't think you'd notice.
Yeah, exactly. There is some slight little things, like we were playing on the SeaWorld sort of waterfront type one, where you sort of get to see over the top, so it's like, okay, not as realistic as it could be, but it still is realistic enough for the game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like, okay, I could see this in a game situation rather than you're not looking at it like, oh, this isn't going to be part of real world. Why have they got this here? They've got little bits and pieces throughout all of the graphics. There's something that just melds them all together in a really, really clever way.
Yeah.
And the colors great. And the other thing that I noticed, the people in the stadium are all separate people.
There are a lot of overlaps.
There are a lot of overlaps.
Yes.
I didn't notice too much of that.
You weren't paying enough attention, obviously.
No. But like,
that doesn't bother me at all. Like, it's a crowd. You can't expect them to put 60,000 different models in there, even though they have randomly generated people. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Yeah, but like, there might be overlaps, but it's still, they're distinguishable to be single people.
It's good enough.
Yeah, and the grass is realistic enough too.
The grass looks great.
Yeah, I think I love how it got, because we're looking at the thing here.
The Steam page is scrolling by.
Yeah, it's got all the lines as if it's been mowed in that way, and it's not just a flat color like you get in some games where it's like, yeah, this is your diamond.
Yeah,
that's what you get. It's like,
yeah,
they've really thought into it.
What do you think about the I want to talk a lot about this. What do you think about the sound?
I really liked it. As you said, a lot of the games that we've played, we haven't noticed much about the sound. This one, it really draws you into the game.
Yeah.
The sound is what makes it. So, I think you've got the sound of the crowd, you've got adverts playing in the background, you've got the commentator, you've got the fielders, you've got the pitch, not the pitcher, the back referee dude person, the ref. Everything is making noise.
Yeah,
there is so much going on that it's very, it's loud, but it's not over the top.
Yeah,
like you can make out every single thing that's going on, but it's not distracting.
Yeah.
I guess you feel like you're in a stadium.
Yeah,
you actually feel like you're there. You've got all the... I wouldn't know. I've never been to a baseball game. You've never been to a baseball game, I'm assuming. So, but if you think about like rugby or AFL for you, it's like being at an actual sports game.
Yeah, so like a lot of sports games have commentators and stuff, which is great. Some commentating on sports games, it works, but in this game, it makes you feel like you're actually a player because you don't have the commentator over the top. You don't have, noise reduction, the crowd going down or anything. Like it actually sounds like you're in the stadium.
Yeah, because the commentator is way in the back. Like
that's not a commentator. That's the actual announcer, though.
The announcer. Yeah, true.
The announcer at a baseball game, I think, is normal. I think that's a normal thing.
Comment below if it's normal or not, please.
Like, we've never been to a baseball game. I've only watched a baseball game like twice, and that was 15 years ago, so...
Yeah.
But anyway, my take on the sound, the two things you've missed are my favourite things. The sounds of the batting and the sounds of the pitching.
Very true. I did miss out. I just loved all of the background noise so much.
Yeah. I think we'll go with the pitching first because that's my least favourite of the two. Like, when you throw a fast pitch, it sounds fast. When you throw a slow pitch, it sounds slow. But when you're batting, if you do good contact, you get that, like, book, kind of, I've missed that sound. And when you get good contact, you get this massive thud. Yeah. Like you would get if you got hold of a baseball with a baseball bat really well. It sounds like you've hit it. Like, the couple of times I hit a home run, it's just this massive thud that comes out of it. And you're like, that is gone. Yeah, and it feels, and because it sounds so good, it just feels so fucking good. Like if it was just came up on the mic. We've got noise reduction on the mic, so I don't know if you actually heard the first time. Like it wouldn't be as satisfying. Yeah, but you hit this massive, and the ball just goes 500 feet that way. It's like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's so good. So much, and it's a realistic noise as well. It's not like tinny, crappy. We've made this sound. It's like they've gone and recorded the sound of somebody just thwacking the ball. Yeah.
What do you think of the controls?
That's all you wanted to say about the sound?
Yeah, I love it. What more are you there to say?
I didn't want to talk about any other bits of the sound. No? All right.
Everything else you said was great. I agree. But the two bits that you missed were the two things I actually care the most about.
All right, fair. We'll go theming first because we're on the whole.
I forgot that one. Okay,
that's okay. It's baseball,
and the game has a good theme to it. It looks, everything flows nicely. It's got
even the start menu, everything.
Yeah, they've done well to keep the game consistently themed.
Yeah, and even when you go into like the options menus and stuff like that, it's sort of like, in a way, like the when you're on TV and they bring up the characters, the players, and it's like that kind of screen. It's obviously it doesn't have pictures or anything, but it's got that border and all that sort of stuff, and there's parts of it where it looks like baseball cards, and
done well.
Very well. Now the controller.
I must say, the controls, they're very confusing to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because baseball has so many different systems that have to be a little bit confusing because there are so many things to do, like especially when there's like 3 runners on the base and you're batting and you got to, you want to send one runner home but the other 2 are staying put and stuff like that. There's a lot that can happen. I think just getting used to those controls would have helped a lot because we only played a few games. Yeah. Like by the end of it, I thought I was getting a pretty decent handle on fielding and batting, obviously, and pitching's pretty simple. Pitching is pretty easy, and batting is mostly easy. The controls are pretty simple, but it's fielding that really, or fielding and base running that really are quite complicated. But I think it has to be. I don't know if they could have done any better with the controls, but with those two systems, until you get used to it, I think we've played it for about 2 hours. Or so.
Something like that.
Once you get used to it, it'll be fine.
Let's have a quick look.
But
2 hours.
2 hours, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot to take in. I'm not saying it's necessarily a strike against the game. It's definitely not. But it is something to consider that there is a lot to learn with the controls. Yeah. And I don't think I'd probably use a mouse and keyboard for this. Although I'm pretty sure you can. I think the controller is definitely the way to go for this.
Yeah, there's no way that any sane person would want to use a mouse and keyboard. Yeah. Because with the a whole bunch of different things that are on the controller. You could only imagine how separated things are going to be on a keyboard.
Yeah, like, I don't know where I put my controller.
It's behind you, but there you go.
Okay, so your face buttons, A, B, X, Y, or triangle, square, X, circle. They each represent a base when you're base running. Or they each represent a base when you're fielding that you want to throw to. That is so intuitive, even though I fucked it up like 300 times.
Yes.
That wouldn't be as intuitive on a keyboard.
No.
Just for that alone, I would recommend using a controller.
Yeah.
I don't know why I needed a controller for that. Where is mine? Oh, there it is. I found it.
But yeah, as Icarus said, the fielding and the bases are definitely confusing. The batting, fairly simple. You've just got to get good aim and a TV that doesn't have 20 seconds of lag.
You get used to it. I'd go to play it on my low lag monitor now, and I'd probably suck at it. I'd probably always be early.
Yeah,
as a result of the monitor. But anyway.
And then pitching. Put it somewhere. Change what direction it's going. Press X. You're done, or A.
Pitching is very good. Usually in like some games I've played, when you're doing like a throw, it's just you pick an area to throw it in, and that's it. It goes there. This one you got to sort of finesse it a little bit. It's a little bit more difficult, which I think is good. It adds that little element.
But it's still pretty easy at the same time. Yeah, I forgot about the having to aim it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, like you pick a point, and then it goes. A little circle comes, and you got to what I'm looking for. What would you do to a horse? Tame it. You got to tame the circle into the right place to make it work. And I think that adds.
Interesting choice of words.
It's probably not what I was going for. To be honest,
I was going to say direct it.
Yeah,
it's basically, it creates that realism of you're never going to throw a perfect throw.
Yeah, it's like you always want to put it there. Are you going to be able to?
Yeah.
You got to control it. So I think that's really good.
Yeah, and everything else with the control, it's fine.
Yeah, it works.
It does, and it's easy. It's just they're a bit confusing.
Yeah, there's a lot of buttons. Like, if you watch the video that we brought up the how to play screen a couple of times, and you can see how many buttons there are.
Yeah, and each screen they do different things. But there's, I think, pretty sure in the fielding you use everything.
Fielding and base running, you use everything.
Yeah, every single button on a controller is used, except obviously the start and what's the other one? Select.
It's like option or something on the Xbox controller.
Yeah,
no, that's on the PS4 controller.
Whatever it is.
Whatever the fuck it is.
We're old. We were originally
Start and select.
PlayStation 1. Start, select. That was it.
Yeah. PlayStation 1. Bit new school for me with a PlayStation 1. The old NES. Start and select.
You see, I never played an NES. Well, I did. I have, but
not back in the day.
I didn't back in the day. My first console was PlayStation.
Mine was a Coleco.
A ColecoVision.
Good time. Play Ladybird. It's awesome. Ladybug.
Maybe we'll have to play some couch surfing games on those for.
Yeah. If I had a ColecoVision, that wouldn't be an issue.
But you did.
No, I got an Intellivision. They got the worst controls. Anyway, we've completely gone off topic.
Yes, we have. So that's everything about controller I think I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can talk about the co-op versus single player versus adversarial thing. So I have a lot to say about this. So do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I think you can go first.
Okay. The co-op, awesome. The way they divide up the workload. So first player bats first, and the second batter is the second player. Then the first player, second player, first player, second player. Awesome. Pitching, great. Innings by innings. Switches over, great. The pitcher doesn't field, and the batter doesn't base run. Interesting choice, but I think that works. Make sure that you're both in the game at the same time. I think that's fucking awesome, and then it works really well.
Yeah.
Single player, obviously doing everything by yourself. I think that's fine.
Although we haven't played single player yet.
We haven't, but I reckon that would be a lot harder because you have to manage a lot of systems by yourself and remember all the controls and stuff like that. But whatever. I'm sure that's fine.
For an experienced person, be fine.
Yeah. Adversarial sucks on local multiplayer.
I think what he was trying to say is it fucking sucked.
I wasn't, but okay.
Sorry. I'm just putting words into your mouth because it fucking sucked.
Yeah. I understand it would be impossible, I think, to put the pitching system and the batting system in a way that would let two people on the same screen play against each other. I get that it'd be impossible. And I get that they should have they wanted to probably put something in. But it makes it, I don't want to say unplayable, but if you had two relatively matched skill levels of, people who knew the game pretty well, I don't think it would be very fun. I think it would be awful, to be honest. And I think that mode actually ruins the game just a little bit. I think if they didn't include that portion of the game and they did something else, or if they just didn't include it at all, I think that would be a much better game for it. Because I remember when we first tried it on stream, I was actually quite excited to see how it would work. Then we played it, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It was
expectations
so terrible.
were like,
because we played the co-op, and like, this is awesome, obviously. But then we played the adversarial. I was like, it might be really good. Like, I assume that if you play online against each other, it'll be the same thing as playing single player against the PC or against the CPU, or the multiplayer against the CPU or something like that. But the couch co-op, the couch adversarial is just crap. Like, don't bother. Is my suggestion. Just don't fucking bother.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got very similar views. The co-op on the same team, great, absolutely awesome. And I'm pretty sure if we did do it, where we were both on different teams in the start, which is the same one, isn't it?
What do you mean?
So we both went on the same team. But if we would swap those, yeah. I don't know. I've confused myself. But yeah, playing on the same team, great. Works really well. Absolutely amazing. You've got that balance between workload. So you're always doing something, but you're not overloaded with stuff. Unless I guess if you're fielding or pitching, and that's just...
Well, you're not overloaded. You're also not bored either. Like,
yeah, or unless the person in test keeps getting strikes
or home runs.
Yes.
But there's a chance that you have to still pay attention if you're the player who's not doing the main thing.
Yeah, you can't just go, I need to go and grab a drink. I'll be back in a minute. You've still got to be there to be part of the game.
Yeah,
like you have to pause it before you could do that.
Yeah.
And yes, adversarial couch surf. It was so disappointing. We were looking forward to it. As Akira said, we were really excited to get into it. We got into it and we were like,
yay.
This is shit. But online, I think it would work great.
Yeah,
I think it would really, really go well. Or stream. What is it when you go over Steam to Steam?
That would be same as local co-op.
Oh, would it be?
Remote play together.
Remote play, yeah.
Yeah, that's like local co-op.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Wouldn't be good on remote play either. Online, yes, 100%. Definitely do it online, but I don't think this does online, does it?
Yeah.
It does? Do the online play if you're wanting to play with somebody.
Against somebody.
Yeah.
With somebody, couch co-op, fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, but they need to
rework that, I think.
Rework it or just
remove it
or have it only as online.
Yeah.
I
guess that brings us into our final thing. Would you recommend it?
Oh, yeah.
I'd recommend it for anything but adversarial,
yeah.
Couch adversarial. Everything else is great. The franchise mode and the season mode seem very interesting if you want a more in-depth kind of game.
Yeah. I think there is one more little thing that would sort of stop me from getting it. Luckily, we were able to get it on sale.
Yeah, the price.
$65.
Australian dollars.
Australian dollars, yeah.
It's a lot for what it is. We got it during the Steam sale, so we got $20 off or something.
Something like that. I think it was like, yeah. No, I think you paid like $30 for it or something like that. Whatever it was.
We got it for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Comparatively to the full thing.
Yeah.
But that said, like if you like baseball, I mean, you're gonna love this. I think personally,
Yeah.
especially if you have someone to play with. Especially even if it's online. If you want to do a season or even a franchise together, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and coming from me personally, that's never even watched a baseball game on TV, I think it's brilliant. It's really well done. I've seen obviously the ones in movies and shit like that, but nothing real.
Yeah, I actually look forward to playing this a lot more.
Definitely do.
Might have to start a season up together. I think.
I think so. Maybe we could throw it up on YouTube. Throw it up on here, I should say. But the other thing we haven't said anything about is the ratings that it's got.
We never talk about that though.
No, but I think this one is good because look at the ratings. There's a 90 out of 100 for something.
From PC Gamer, 8 out of 10 from IGN, a 9 out of 10 from something I can't read, and a 4.5 out of 5 from PC Magazine. And on
how can you
I have very good eyes.
So even with my glasses on, I still can't read that.
I just recognise the characters.
Okay, that's fair.
It's got 413 reviews, 92% positive, and recently it's had 107 reviews with 88% positive. So it's actually quite a beloved game.
Yeah, it's a very positive thing.
It hasn't got a lot of reviews because it is a very niche title. But as I said, I think if you like baseball, you're going to love this game.
Yeah, and especially because it's also an indie game as well. So
yeah,
it's definitely for that special select few that like these sorts of games.
Yeah, and I think the season and franchise mode do provide you with quite a lot of replayability. Because you can change your team up, stats, create your own team, create your own legacy. It's quite a good idea.
Yeah, so it's definitely something we should we'll give it a go. If you do want us to give it a go, throw a comment down below. And
yeah,
that is it. So yeah, as I said, everything will be down below. Twitch, YouTube, for myself. We'll put mine and Chris's Twitch down below, as you have started streaming on Twitch.
Yeah,
occasionally.
Having a bit of trouble with my setup trying to play the game I want to play, which is Hard Space Shipbreaker. I'm streaming on a laptop with an eGPU and it's just not working at all. For that game, it doesn't have the power for it, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens there. I might play some more simpler games until I get a proper setup again. But yeah.
Yeah.
Also check out the playlist for all the Couch Surfer stuff.
Yes, and we haven't talked about on this last one, but we are in the works of doing a new little series.
Couple of series, actually.
Couple of series?
One we're just recording and the Twitch one.
Which one? Oh, yes. So we're going to be doing a little series with a board game.
But that's going to take a while to come out, so don't get too excited, I guess.
Just
hold your horses.
Stop. Breathe.
Get some help.
Breathe. It is going to take a while to get the videos edited, sorted out, and stuff. And this other one is going to be, well, I guess we can say what it is. It's a Minecraft RPG sort of style, where it's more about the adventure rather than the
base building
and stuff. Because you got to go out there and explore and stuff, instead of just staying in one spot and going, yep, this is my house. I stay here. I'm not leaving. I'm self-isolating. I will not go anywhere else. I must stay home.
But either way, links for everything will be down below.
Yes.
If you like our stuff, follow our channels and subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch.
Or if you want to subscribe to me on Twitch, you're more than welcome to.
And I'm not an affiliate and probably never will be, so don't
Never
bother.
Never know. But yeah, following or even just sharing our page.
It's very, very helpful.
We would much rather that than wasting your money on us, because if you want to, go for it, but fuck.
We'd much have more people watching than have money.
Yeah. Viewers are very much greater than money right now. So,
anyway.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, links down below. Mondays are going to be on my channel, and then
on Twitch.
Monday nights, about 7 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time, plus 10 if you know what that is. And yeah,
Wednesday over here.
Wednesday here, as you are probably here on Wednesday. If you're not, come back on Wednesday. Brand new video. I think that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.